This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we talking about an absolutely absurd body fat percentage.
Three, two, 1.6% body fat, mate.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Dammy,
and me, Tom Hall. What's going on, bud?
I'm good, mate. I'm still reeling off the back of the weekend where you said I had a perfect squat. It's just been a highlight of my whole weekend, mate. I just
highlighted the whole weekend.
Yeah,
good.
Perfect squat, mate. You said, and that's your words, not even mine, mate.
Never, but then you have to have the caveat. Was it slightly painful by the end?
Yeah.
So, true screening.
My hip wasn't enjoying it by the end of the day, but it was
functional pass into pain fail.
Yeah, it was one of those where it was like the stuff we talked about on there. It was all that shit that Josh was talking about, and like my joint range of motion had gone somewhere it's not been for a long time. So definitely shouldn't have been loaded at that point. So that's fine.
Yeah.
But no, it was really really good to see everyone there, and yeah. To spend the weekend with you, mate. As much as I hate to say it, it was actually good fun.
Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, we just spent the whole weekend with 24 lovely people who came down to, I guess, go through our screening, programming, and correctives workshop. It was lovely. With Josh, London Muscle, all those guys. One of the other lads came down. Yeah, it was good.
Josh sold me out, didn't he? We all know he's the FMS guy, but yeah, and I've told everyone about my master's thesis. It's like, shut up, Josh. Didn't tell everyone that I studied it for a whole year and a half.
Actually did his master's thesis on the FMS.
Screening.
Hence why I went to talk about it. And Josh got really excited by bringing a couple of kits in. So yeah, that's about it. That was good. We got to meet some really cool people who, mate, like if they're jumping on courses with us, then they're obviously in the right direction. So
you know they're going to do the right things in the future.
100%. It's just it's fine. If they follow most of our advice, anyway. Maybe some of it, like 90-10 splits. 10% of what we say is absolute garbage. But it's pretty easy to find out. But yeah, it was nice. I had Dan staying with me all weekend.
You loved it.
Up on a Friday. He stayed at Casa Hall. And then
the penthouse.
Yeah.
I stayed in the East Wing for those interested. Or those that know Tom's place in the East Wing.
He was nice. He had some nice silk sheets. Lovely.
They were lovely, mate. Yeah.
Lovely. I can't stand them. So yeah.
You got treated like a king.
Vicky's loves them. I have no idea why. I forced even though he was on prep, he ate out twice. Or 3 times,
mate,
really.
I woke up this morning, the lightest I've been all year. So there's something in it, mate.
It was just a good feed, just to drop the weight.
It's one of those where in London, though, you don't realise how much you walk. Like I did 20,000 steps both days without even realising, not even thinking, just going from place to place. And in Bath, I usually probably maybe do 6,000-7,000 on a good day if I get out. So it made me realise. Obviously, I skipped a few meals, and I had the white fish and everything. I'll be really good because I was like, the pizza won't be that great because it's just like a bog standard, little cafe, a little restaurant. And then for dessert they had Nutella filled gnocchi, and I was like, well, I don't get that every day, so I've got to have that. So I'm glad I skipped it because I had that, and then we went for a burger, didn't we? Burger, chips, and an Oreo milkshake. But then during the day I had like chicken salad and like a yogurt for breakfast. So it was like, well.
Yeah, I've got to say, I didn't count up my steps because obviously my workshop and teaching style is very walkabouty. I tend to walk so much just when I'm lecturing, when I'm just giving workshops or presentations. If there's room in the room to walk about, I'm going to use it and get people kind of. Some people find it really annoying, and some people have told me that I move too much and they can't just kind of sit and look at me, and I'm like. Yeah, I know. That's mainly the point. So you just keep following me. So you have to have some sort of recognition to keep. I was like, "Where's he gone?" All right, okay. I've got to think about what you're saying now. So I've actually had to spot you out in the room using your other sense. So yeah, it was something that I got taught when I was. I think I was on my master's degree. With presentations, because obviously in football we had to give presentations a fair bit to the coaches and a lot to the players, and getting them to even believe a word you're saying whilst you're giving a presentation upon their fitness and like where they should be doing, where they should be going, and interactions within each other player. And it was just like, yeah, I've got to grab these people's attention at some point. If I run around them, they might actually be like, what's he doing?
Yeah. How's he gone? Yeah.
Suddenly go. But yeah, we went dip and flip.
Dip and flip was good. I liked it a lot. Very different. It's different twist on a burger, but I really enjoyed it. It was very good.
It was nice. So yeah,
I would recommend anyone go there if you live around near the Clapham area. I'm sure there's more in London as well.
Clapham, Brixton. Yeah, there's a couple more, I think.
Go try it out. Basically, it was just a burger soaked in gravy, dipped in gravy. So
basically, and you get like, it was cheeseburger, right?
Yeah, just
cheeseburger, like a decent cheeseburger, and then they put like, you can have either like lamb or you can have beef inside it, like gravy soaked. I guess what would be roast lamb or roast beef, and then you get a little tray of gravy to dip it in, and it's enough gravy. Like it's not like a peanut and out. It's enough to like.
Yeah. And they give you like a big like almost fucking boat to put it in, like you've got enough space for your burger. You know, like these little pots. It's not one of them like KFC one. It's like proper big one.
Proper thing. So I did explain it to somebody today, and they were like, "What? That sounds awful." I was like, "You don't like gravy, do you? If you don't like gravy, it's not a thing." Like
Mike didn't like the sound of it. I was like, "To be too messy." I was like, "Shut up! I've seen you eat. Like, shut up." So yeah,
it is good. Highly recommend. And the wings were good. Wings were good, mate.
Although you took about 20 minutes to eat the wings. Mate.
I don't know. I was so slow that night. I was just like, I don't know whether I was already falling asleep most of the time.
Yeah, that's what it was. You were like, the way you were tearing the wings apart. I was like, fucking hell, mate, you're gonna eat them, or are you just caressing them?
Because they were like free, kind of edgy. They were big wings, and they had like 3 bits, so I had to pull certain bits off to actually even get my, not like, because Dan at one point, I didn't tell him that he did have a lot of food in his beard, but he did wipe it down like halfway through the meal. And I was like, I didn't want that to happen. I've got a bigger beard than you, and it's generally going to stick a little bit more. But that was the reason why. And I did take a long time. I think Dan was more hungry than me because I'd been eating food all the way through the day. Also, I let you speak for the last like 45 hours, so I could just chill. And I was eating. So yeah, that was fine. I had sushi during the day as well, so it was good. Good day, mate. So we got a couple of things we're really going to discuss. I give an overview of the weekend. Really, I think Dan did a little bit briefly on his social media as he was travelling home. And what were the takeaways? I guess from our perspective, really from like speaking to the trainers, and I guess it's a case of if one person's, what we said at the start, right, was if one person's thinking in the room, put your hand up, because the chances are a lot of people are thinking it in the room. So that was I think a case of that, and then if we're thinking it, then the chances are a lot of other people would be thinking, basically based off that seminar, really, what we were talking about, screening and protocols, etc. So you had some take homes.
Yeah, I was about to say I've just gone into my stories to just check what I wrote down, but it's gone.
It's gone. Well, you can go back on your insights, mate.
Yeah, I know, on my archive or whatever it's called anyway. But no, I was just on the train back and I just thought of a few things. Obviously, I couldn't do a story on the train because it's a bit weird, isn't it? So I just wrote them as text. But yeah, I liked the whole thing about, like, you know, we said you know that movement screens shouldn't take longer than sort of 5-10 minutes, and how within that you should kind of use your brain and go, well, actually, I shouldn't be looking for anything too crazy here. It's like, it should be pretty obvious. And, you know, I think some of the guys were practicing their screens. Obviously, the first time they'd done them, and there was obviously, you know, that sort of thing. But it was kind of like, which led on to my next point, which was that trainers sometimes look for issues. They're looking for problems. Rather than just checking it off and going, it's okay, they're like inspecting each and every single movement. And we were kind of saying, look, like, bad movement is noticeable. Like, you notice it, you know what it looks like. But then also the reason we did what we did was, you know how to then correct that and how to work that into someone's program. But it was almost like they were looking for little things that really weren't there. And like, from our point of view, I suppose it was kind of a case of, look, if all these movements look good, like, they're ready to be loaded. Like, don't hesitate and think that you can't load them, even if hesitantly to begin with. And then it was also the point about corrective exercise that we kept kind of banging home, which was that it's not about bands and equipment and fancy apparatus and stuff. It's just a different version of strength training. Strength training itself is corrective, and just by moving the load, and we talked about the stance, we talked about all these different variables that can affect exercise selection, and how, you know, basically all you're doing is just making a movement more stable potentially for someone, and just changing the angle, the moment arm, or the location of the weight, and how that affects base of support and center of gravity and all these sorts of things. That is corrective. And then also, like, that you can not do an exercise with a client. Like, you don't have to like make every single client squat, deadlift, bench, press, pull, whatever. There's some just won't be able to do, you know, the exact way you want them to, maybe for the rest of their lives, and that's not a problem. Like, you can just say, look, you're just not meant to do that. Much like Josh, I suppose, you know, he talked about with his ankle and stuff. There's just certain things that for him are just not going to be possible, and like, that's okay. It's working around it, and rather than trying to fix it and make something perfect that you can't. And then I just put as well that the last thought was that you said my squat was perfect. But yeah,
that's all you took away, to be honest.
That's why also the post I made on Instagram today, which is Monday, you guys will listen to this Wednesday obviously, but
yeah,
was around confidence. And I think a lot of people over the weekend were like seeing the same things we were seeing, but they just weren't quite confident enough to like say it's okay, or to program something. They were kind of waiting for us to go, yeah, that's fine, and then they kind of believed it themselves. And
but I think in some ways I was very glad that those people were like that, because I feel with them going through the screening protocols and getting the justifications from us, they'll be able to look over the slides and the PDFs and the explanations again, and they will become more confident the more they see it again. I still think that's learned. And for sure.
But
I think it's a dangerous thing when maybe they don't have much experience and they're suddenly overdiagnosing every single thing, and they're like, yes, this is definitely happening, that's happening, that's happening. That's something that I've flagged up in a few trainers who they work for me, and they get extremely confident about stuff, and then that becomes, it's more dangerous than the other one. So it's just like, yes, that's definitely happened. You're like, well, was it? No, it's probably not.
It's for sure a good. It's for sure a good characteristic and a good trait for sure. And it's something that I think, you know, like you said, it's something that we do on a regular basis, right?
It's kind of like that they've already learnt to refer out and find a second opinion, which we would do normally. Like, I might ask you about something nutritionally or behaviourally, like, oh, should I be doing that? I'll ask Josh about something if I'm wanting some, I don't know, just general advice. So 100% happens. So I think it's a great trait to have.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it was just intriguing to see it, I suppose, firsthand almost, was that kind of, I think it's this, and it's kind of that thing of like, yeah, it is, yeah, like, well done, like, it's not. And as soon as you said that to them, you could see them being like more like, okay, cool, okay, I got that. You know, it's fucking, you do it in nutrition all the time. You see people all the time do it, and you know, like you say, the people that go on to be better coaches are always the ones that are like, oh, I don't know if I should, or I don't know if I can. It's like, whereas the ones that are in there going keto everywhere, like, you're a fucking idiot. But, you know, it's a good trait to have for sure, and it's having the people you look up to say to you, yeah, you're good with that. Like, it's fine. It gives you that little springboard to go, okay, cool, I can do that next little thing. And then you keep going until you hit a big stumbling block again, and then you go, oh shit, I question myself again. And then you ask them again. You know, it's having mentors, it's having someone to look up to, and someone who you trust, who's been there and done it, has been through the same thing, they've had their own mentor, they ask the same things of. You know, we've all got them, we all know who they are. And it's really important, I think.
Yeah. I mean, the body coach answers my stuff all the time, so
well, there you go, mate.
Absolute gold.
Exactly, similar hair, similar facial hair.
From the same place. I mean, yeah, same accent, exactly.
Well, pretty much.
No, but yeah, from more takeaways from, I guess, from when we started talking about correctives, we drive home that it should be some sort of exercise basis that we want to get people moving, and that's how we're going to do it, not like maybe laying down all the time. It's going to be like fillers that we start to use these range of motion exercises. And with the range of motion stuff, I think there is I don't know, a preconceived idea that we have to access all this range of motion to be suddenly what we explained motor control and mobility, and you'll have to come for us to fully explain what that is and the difference between those. But it's kind of, you're not going to be able to fix somebody's range of motion if they can't control the range that they've got, and that was a big I think that was we drilled it home a fair bit when obviously Josh was talking about FRC training, and we were saying about tapping into overhead pressing is a big one, because I think half the room would get essentially a what we would class as dysfunctional fail, or like a dysfunctional corrective, long-term corrective, because of where they could get their overhead reach assessments. And we were explaining, like, no, you can still, this is where the landmine comes in, believe it or not.
Yeah, the landmine.
You can still progress to where we want to be, ideally, but there's no actual danger that they'll never get there. That was like, oh no, if we can't possibly like survive, if we can't put a like hand right over my head and my bicep right next to my ear without getting any scapular elevation, I was like, no, we'll probably be alright. We just probably won't be doing some strict overhead like military presses. We can beef up our shoulders another way, absolutely fine. Lat raises and I don't know, some landmine pressing for everybody. Be great.
Everybody, cookie cutter, everybody. But like, no, I think the other thing that it kind of drilled home for me was actually like, there are those exercises that pretty much everybody will be kind of safe to do, and they can build their shoulders and they can do all this sort of stuff. And I know we joke about the landmine and we joke about
nobody ever jokes about the landmine, Dan.
Joke about that, and obviously, like, you know, the goblet squats and all these sorts of reverse lunges and stuff like that. But these are just exercises that you can pretty much give to most people with a small amount of load. They're challenging. Most people have got the range of motion to do it. They're not going to harm themselves doing them, and they're kind of like fundamentals that really a lot of people are going to be happy doing. So, it is something that's great. I mean, I hate to admit that the landmine's useful, because Tom seems to say it, but no more so than it pains me to say the FMS, is actually not the worst screen in the world.
I know.
But yeah, no, it was great. It was just a great weekend, and like I said to Tom, it was great being there as well and watching. And actually, I think sometimes when you do online training, you sometimes do forget, just how important it can be to do all these sorts of things in that sort of depth. And obviously online, you literally can't do it in that sort of depth. But how cool it is to see it, and how cool it is to be able to go, right, this is massively going to inform what you're doing. And it was great. It was a really, really good weekend, and I'm glad that there were so many people there, and a lot of people took a lot away from it.
More than we even realised, because Josh actually forgot to tell us the real numbers.
Josh was just like, oh yeah, there's more coming. I'm like, oh, there's only like this many names on the list. He's like, oh, I got loads more coming. Don't worry.
Thanks, mate. Good. Cheers. But yeah, biggest takeaways are that Dan enjoyed watching both me and Josh actually teach, which was great.
It's weird because I've never seen you teach. Like, this is something that obviously I left.
It's something that I do a hell of a lot since you've left. Yeah, I think. Yeah. A lot more since even before Josh came on. I was still teaching a hell of a lot to trainers, and then even more so now we're in combination with another couple of lads as well. But yeah, we do this every week, and you're like, it actually shows that you do it a lot, Tom. Well done.
Probably showed that I don't do it that much.
Absolutely not, mate. It shows you knew your topic. If me and Josh stood up there about online training, we'd be like, yeah, so I sent my programs over, and one of my online guys was in the room, and I was like, yep, gets his programs, we discuss his programs, we decide when we want to. It does help when he's a trainer and he's been trained for a long time, and he's got a 5-year streak on MyFitnessPal. VJ.
Brilliant.
the easiest.
I mean, take a week off. Take a week off. That's a bit too much.
There was at one point I was looking for his training, and I was like, man, my bad. Like, as a coach, I'm just flicking through his training cycles. I think he's been with me for 3 years maybe, and I was like, dude, when was the last? Because I was just looking through it like date by date. I was like, when's the last time you went on holiday? He was like, I was like, exactly, take this week off. I was like, I'm not giving you a program. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, you're paying me to tell you not to train. Brilliant. Very strange. But that's people online coaching, right? Yeah,
people
exactly.
That's
what he's paying me to do. I was like, I've just realised like why we're plateauing. You haven't taken a break. I was like, we deloaded 100%, but we've never taken a complete week, 2 weeks off.
Exactly.
Which is needed sometimes, believe it or not, even for peace of mind. I think he began to enjoy it as well. So he's a trainaholic, basically. Yeah, he's fine. He's Good. All right, mate. I think we'll move on. There's some silly stuff happening on the internet. Also, we're going to keep it a little bit short and sharp this week because we're recording on the Monday. Obviously, we've had all weekend. Like today, I kind of felt like I hadn't had a day off because obviously we went and trained on Sunday as well, briefly together, and Dan had to do a slight bit of work with a client. So yeah, it was good.
Working weekend, mate, innit? Working weekend.
Yeah. Grinding.
Oh, always grinding, mate. Always grinding.
Absolute grinding, yeah. We've got to spend the weekend in a nice facility with nice people. And then, absolute grinding. Definitely not. So, the NFL Combine, if anybody knows what is going on with that, it's basically all the guys, most of the guys that are going to get drafted in the NFL turn up, do a load of like athletic movements, and so the main ones are like they bench press, 220 pounds, so 105
reps, don't they?
105 kilos
they make it look like the bar, don't they?
Yeah, it's madness. I still think the record is a guy called Dontari Poe, who I think unbroken. Obviously, they bounce off their chest, but still.
Yeah, massively.
Unbroken.
Crack ribs, don't they, basically?
Unbroken, he did about 49 reps, something like that, of 105 kilos. Not bad, is it? Obviously, body weight, like, he weighs about 350 pounds. So, yeah, only, I don't know, 70% of his body weight. So I still wouldn't be able to do that with 70% of my body weight. I'm 100% sure. But it's like a 40-yard dash, 3 cone drills. There's some interesting ones. If anybody wants to think they're as smart as a NFL player, they do something called the Wonderlic test, which is like a football IQ. It's actually got a lot of like maths and cognitive function and decision making stuff in it as well, which is it's quite interesting. If you ever want to do that and realise how thick you are, Dan, do that.
Thanks, mate.
I scored okay, but not like top of class. It was like there's some guys that are in the draft that they always rumour what their scores were, and it's like awful. And most of the quarterbacks do pretty well, but yeah, it's usually the quarterbacks that take that test. But anyway, part of this, there's like vert jumps and broad jumps as well. There's a big one. Part of this is they obviously get measured, their hands get measured, and their weight and body fat percentages get measured, don't they, Dan? And there's a lad that I think we can say his name, an Ole Miss wide receiver.
He listens, to be fair. So
yeah, he probably listens. DK Metcalf, or social media.
He's dead, by the way. I can tell you after this.
I think
he's
possibly. Measured in at 6'3" and 3/8. 3 inches. No,
6'3".
6'3" and 3/8. Don't know what the 3/8 is all about. That's just like, well, you're 6'3", mate. Like, round it down.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And 228 pounds, so that's about just over 100 kilos, right? Just about that. And apparently, according to these guys, the NFL, he has a 1.6% body fat percentage.
Well, they're wrong. They are wrong.
I mean, talk me through that, Dan. I mean, talk me through that.
Right, well, they're wrong. They're wrong. Like, it's pretty simple. Like, you'd die, for one, you'd be dead. But I said this to Tom before we came on. I was like, the reason I know they're wrong...
Quick bit of maths, didn't we?
Yeah, is that the human brain, right? The human brain weighs anywhere, I said, from between 1 to 1.5 kilos. I Googled it. It's about 1.3 to 1.4 kilos. That's pretty much bang on, right? Call it 1.4 kilos, because he's a big lad. 1.4 kilos. The brain is also...
Big lad doesn't mean he has a big brain.
No, but I mean, you're going to assume he's slightly bigger, so he's going to be the 1.4, 1.3, right? And also he's a bloke, so women are going to have 1.3, men have 1.4. But yeah.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
It's only a joke. Girls, it's only a joke. It's only a joke. Good things come in small packages. It's fine. That's
why Dan's so great.
That's what I live by anyway. But yeah, and then also the brain is the fattiest organ in the body, and I was like, ridiculous. It's mainly made up of fat. I was like, so therefore. I was like, ridiculous. And again, I Googled it again, and what came up was that the brain consists of at least a minimum 60% fat. So that means, by my calculations, that means that if it's 1.4 kilos, 50% is 700 grams, add another 140 on, 840 grams. Half of his body fat percentage, if we're going at 1.6% of 100 kilos, half of his body fat is in his brain, which means the other half is spread out between his other organs, because the kidney and liver, all those sorts of things got fat. They have to have fat because, again, it's fundamental to life to have that amount of organs, which means that he would have zero body fat anywhere else in his body. He would be 0% body fat anywhere else, which is physically impossible. He obviously isn't, is he? Ridiculous. Like, and how the NFL could even come out and say that there should be like a bare minimum, which is like 5%, and that no one can be lower because you just can't measure it. And I just find it worrying.
It just absolutely begs belief, doesn't it? It's just
physically impossible.
Because
you would be dead. You would be dead.
So yeah, I mean, what's his face? This professor basically just says basically if it was 1.6 or the lad came out who got it measured, he was like, he tried to like squash it a bit. It was like no, it's not 1.6. No, nobody ever said it was 1.6. It's only 1.9. All right, mate, brilliant. Sorry,
still impossible. Still impossible.
Yeah, his professor said he was like, basically if it was 1.6 or even 1.9, his health would be at serious risk. Yeah. A male athlete needs at least 3% body fat to account for just his essential organ functions.
Yeah.
And he was like, the lad certainly would not have been able to perform at a level which he ran like one of the fastest 40 times in a sub 2% body fat without facing a medical emergency. Really? So he'd be hospitalised 100% if did that. So apparently, there's within this article, there was. I mean, we know the only way to actually measure body fat is an autopsy. So there was an Austrian bodybuilder, apparently in 1996, Andris Munzer. He had an autopsy performed, and it was determined his body fat had just hovered when he died. Obviously, just near zero, apparently, but it contributed to his death. Obviously,
yeah,
he'd gone to such extreme that everything had shut down.
Yeah,
so
that's a bodybuilder going to nearly 0%. So let's say it was 0.9% or 1%, right?
Yeah.
He died from it. And this guy just ran the quickest 40-meter time in the NFL.
Yeah, and then even the professor saying, like, he was like, yeah, this guy is jacked. But he was just like, but just looking at him, he's nowhere near the level of an in-competition bodybuilder. No. And he was like, even those guys will have 4 or 5%, and that's immensely extreme. And ridiculous. He was just like, even 4% body fat looks absurd. We know what, like, when people get down there, I quoted 3DMJ, like, who's, obviously, Eric Helms and Jeff Alberts. Who's the other lad? Alberto Nunez. Alberto Nunez is the guy that I feel like whenever I want to show somebody what shreds looks like, I would get up a picture of Alberto Nunez, because he just gets ridiculous, like, striation, doesn't he? It's just and this guy's nowhere near that. Like, and
even him at that point with that low % body fat, he wouldn't be able to run. He'd be like, he sat there going, "Go fuck yourself! I'm not running unless it's for a cheeseburger." He wouldn't. He just wouldn't run. Like, having been close to that, not obviously anywhere near it, but close enough that what it took to get there, I was like, I would not run sprint, no chance. Like, it just wouldn't happen. You wouldn't perform at your best. Like, it's absurd, like, and it's just America being America, like the NFL being the NFL. Yeah, it's like soon there'll be someone with 0%. You know it. The next year at the combine, oh my god, he's got under 1% body fat. It's like, yes, okay. He's been keto, has he?
Been on keto. Got to eat fat to burn it, mate. So ridiculous, to keep that down. I mean, I'm 100% sure that I have eaten. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I could eat more than 1.6% of my body fat, or body weight of fat, and then surely I would be more percentage body fat, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
So I could do that today. I've probably done it today, to be honest. I had a garlic bread earlier.
Garlic bread, that'll do it, mate. One garlic bread will do it.
I had an interesting dinner because I couldn't be able to go to Tesco, so there was a garlic bread in the.
Hang on, you couldn't be able to go to Tesco's? It's at the bottom of your penthouse.
Yeah, I couldn't be able to go, and tired, mate. So I decided just to like chop up some meat, put it on the garlic bread. Like, this is a flatbread garlic bread, and then turn it into a pizza. Put some like barbecue sauce on it. It was good.
Gosh,
I didn't eat much most of the day because I've been busy, like 6-7 clients, and then phone calls everywhere. So no teaching though, surprisingly. Thanks, Josh.
Just all day tomorrow, mate.
Just all day tomorrow. Because he's got to go somewhere apparently. So
he has. He's got to drive his bike somewhere, probably.
Got to get his Porsche somewhere. Those things don't drive themselves, do they? So
they don't. They don't waste petrol themselves.
But yeah, I just got up. I did a quick Google again of the American Council of Exercise. Have a helpful little sheet of for ideal body fat percentage charts. So there's
0.9 down there.
So there's obese is plus 25% for men, plus 32% for women. Is that about right?
It's about you, mate.
Yeah, it's about right. Average. I don't know what they're using to measure this. Obviously, we got DEXAs, we got in-body scanners, we got calipers. Which is the best, from your opinion, Dan? If you're going to do it.
Well, I think the gold standard that people use in research that tends to be the DEXA.
DEXA. Yeah,
but even that has its flaws. Like I said, even that you can manipulate with carbohydrate intake, salt intake, creatine, and that all contributes to lean tissue.
We did a show ages ago about manipulating some of these, didn't we?
Yeah, if you were to use a DEXA, the main thing you would use would be the absolute body fat number. So it'd be, let's say, if you went in one day and your body fat was 5.8 kilos, and you went in another day and it was 5.4 kilos, you've lost weight. Whereas based on your lean tissue, could change between those 2 points, and you may have a higher body fat percentage even at the lower body fat absolute number. So if you are doing DEXAs, not many people do, to be fair, because it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
Always use the absolute body fat number, because that will be the most accurate way of telling you whether you lost body fat or not, because the lean tissue number isn't reliable.
And if you want to feel good about yourself, the in-body scanner is probably more readily available in gyms. We certainly have them in First Base, but if you want to manipulate your numbers on body fat percentage and lean tissue mass, do a scan before you work out, then go classic hypertrophy train, get a massive pump on, and it can't really tell the difference because you basically cell swab in terms of your muscle, and it's just going to pick that up as more muscle. So I've had about 2% muscle gain in about an hour. It's pretty good.
I do, mate. I sell that workout plan.
Yeah, exactly. And then with that comes the fat loss as well. So amazing. Just an hour and a half, a little bit of a sweat, good. Extracellular water goes down, all fine. Bit of cell swelling, all good. But yeah, so you got that obese. Average is apparently 18 to 24% for men, 25% to 31% for women. Obviously, women are always higher. So fitness people. 14 to 17% for men, 21 to 24% for women. Athletes, 6% to 13%. Still a wide range, isn't it? It's very athletes. You could class as a lot of people as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Women, 14 to 20%. Essential fat is 2 to 5%, and then women 10 to 13%. So that is where you need to have essential fats, and he's apparently below that. He's a below essential fats. So good luck, mate. Good luck. I'm sure he's an incredible athlete, 100%. We've seen some of his stuff, but whatever's data, just be like, he could just literally Google and be like, I don't think that's wrong. I'm not dead. It's just crazy, absolutely crazy. So mental, mate. All right, almost come to the end of the show, but it's going to be a nice quick one. But this comes out on the Wednesday, but we're recording on the Monday. What is tomorrow, Dan? It's got to be a big day in your household, especially for a little one.
It's not big for me because I won't be eating any of them, but Pancake Day, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I had to explain what Pancake Day was, obviously, to one of my Q80 clients, Ali. I'm sure you'll listen. What Pancake Day is. He was just like,
I could make protein.
He was like, is that just in your household? Is that a Pancake Day in your house? He was like, and everybody else's. Yeah. It was like from Jesus times. That's when they made pancakes, right? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's what it's from, isn't it? Yeah,
Jesus.
It's from like pancake.
He made pancakes, and then he didn't have pancakes for 40 days. Then he had pancakes again.
That's it. Exactly. That's how it works.
He was like, "I'm from Q8. I love the way we're meant to be all Muslims." I was like, "Meant to be, Ali?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm not really." Okay, cool. But yeah, pancake toppings. I had a discussion with a fair few of my clients today, and I think you have to split them into two separate categories of savoury and sweet.
Yeah.
But there was an outstanding amount of clients. I don't know if it's a generational thing, who don't particularly like savoury pancakes, and I really like savoury pancakes.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
My mum used to make cheese and ham ones. I used to love cheese
and
ham
ham pancakes. Yeah.
But I haven't had pancakes since I left home. I just don't. I've not had it. Like,
I don't go out of my way to make them.
No, I just wouldn't. Because
how simple they are, but no.
If I was to have pancakes, I would always have the American ones, like the thicker, fluffy ones.
Yeah, the
like,
thicker.
I wouldn't ever have
crepe.
the thin crepe ones. Yeah.
Yeah. No. But say if you weren't dieting, what would you go for tomorrow? So you can pick one savoury, pick one sweet, mate. That's what you're allowed.
I mean, I'd mix them together. To be fair, my savoury would be bacon and maple syrup. Is that sweet? Is that savoury? I'd class it as savoury because the bacon's more important on it. And then for the sweet one, I would probably have. Do you know what I'd actually have? This is really weird. I'd probably have yogurt and berries, like berry compote, like on it, rather than anything too, or maybe a bit of jam. Yogurt and jam or something like that. Or peanut butter and jam, maybe with a bit of yogurt on as well, like, bit of texture in it, because sometimes you get a bit dry.
Getting more toppings, the more you think about it.
It wouldn't be like it wouldn't
bit
be
peanut butter, then
it wouldn't be chocolatey though. It wouldn't be chocolatey.
So yeah, I think I would just have. If anybody's been to Breakfast Club, you'd have like those pancakes with what you got: bacon, maple syrup.
Okay, well, if I can have an English breakfast, I'd have that. Yeah, that's what I'd have, obviously.
Bit of sausage and some poached eggs. Lovely. Bam. You go poached eggs, do you? No,
I like poached eggs. I don't mind either, but I like poached.
I like both, but yeah, I'd have a poached on that with some pancakes. But yeah, if I was going to pick, I feel like because of the bacon is the main ingredient, is the bacon and maple syrup. So again, this is a generation thing. They didn't seem to like my idea of bacon and maple syrup, and I'm like, are you mental? It's great. It's candy bacon. It's absolutely fantastic.
It's like when I had the bacon and the Krispy Kreme. Just incredible.
Yeah, like, I bet. The salty and sweet. I was like, you like salty things, you like sweet, and it's great. Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. You like everything separately. No, it's not a rule for everything. You should blend them together, but yeah, should be able to. But then on the sweet side, mate, I was like, you missed out like Biscoff spread, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I had Biscoff cheesecake today at Mike's.
So yeah, you're biased. You've got bias, mate. So
and also as well, like it's too thick to have with pancakes. Like unless you melt it on,
you've got to melt it a little because if they're hot enough, it'll melt itself. So,
true, maybe yeah. But I've had that taste today, so actually I'm now more like actually peanut butter and jam.
And especially with that kind of spread, it can get messy because it does get a little bit runny when it's done that. But that kind of spread's decent. But I can see there's always the classic like just lemon and sugar. Boring. No.
That's worse one to have. Like, grow up. No, worse one.
You're either 3 years old. It's either Isabel wants that or you're 90.
I wouldn't even give it to her. I wouldn't even let her have it. I wouldn't even let her have it.
Come on, mate. Just,
no chance.
No. Just have some adventure. Like, you can have anything. I'd have like some Nutella, some peanut butter. Just have Reese's. Yeah, it'd be fine. Just shove a cream egg in the middle. Just eat that.
Oh, there you go. Now you're talking. Yeah.
I would have some chocolate-based thing, but I would mix some jam into it as well because that's quite nice.
Chocolate and jam.
Chocolate and jam is good. It is good.
I'm not sure about that, Tom.
So, no, you are fine. Let us know what your pancake toppings are going to be. Obviously, I'm sure there'll be a million. And if you're having protein pancakes like Dan is, then
I'm not going to do that.
Too much of a fit.
I'm not going to do it. Don't worry.
How many? And please send them to him. How many posts will there be of either you're too much of a fit bro, you should just have like normal pancakes, stop being a dick, or like you must have protein pancakes. Which one will win tomorrow?
I'm just going no pancakes. I just think I don't know what I think about it.
I think there'll be more people going, oh no, just have the real thing, and then just cut
I haven't
back
got an issue with protein pancakes like on a normal day. I just don't have an issue with them. Like I think they're all right, but if you like them and it's a good way of getting protein in and makes it a bit more enjoyable, but like there's no way that people should be like you've got to have them or like healthier recipe. It's like if you want to enjoy pancakes, enjoy them, but I would have pancakes any other day of the week. I don't need to have a day to have them, so I don't think
Yeah, he hasn't had them since he left home.
No, not like the one, not on pancake day.
I can have any day of the week. I'm an adult. Like,
I can have whatever I want.
I don't live at home anymore. All right, Dan, Jesus. You see how great it was to host him all weekend. It's like...
That was a dream. Easy.
Dream, mate. Yeah, you're a good guest. Yeah, I think we'll bring this show to an end, mate.
Done.
What is coming out in the world of Biceps Banter this week?
Oh, tonight, as we record this, our 24,000 calorie challenge is out, so if you haven't seen that and you want to see Mike attempt 24,000 calories in 24 hours, then go over and head over to YouTube and watch it. Search Bryson Savannah. Don't forget to subscribe as well.
Yeah, subscribe, comment, like,
tomorrow,
thumbs up, that stuff.
It'll be tomorrow this comes out. So tomorrow we've got a video coming out with Dr. Amelia Thompson, our previous guest.
We know her.
Yeah, we're going over a little video on.
She's getting on all our social media feeds now. All the stuff that we can. What's going on?
Listen, we're just trying to tap into a huge following, mate. That's what it is, isn't it? She's a fan, mate. That's the thing, you see. She's a fan. We're doing a bit of intuitive eating, and then also myself and Mike have been invited to Lodo headquarters to film for the day. So
I'd like to say I know what that is, but don't. And I'm sure you told me.
Those that do know, it's just like a really low calorie pizza base, and they make that you can make like wraps out of it and all this sort of stuff. But they also make
love to hear you make a wrap out of it.
Yeah, they make dishes out of it, all sorts of stuff. It's like stupidly low calorie, like wrap, basically. Like pizza.
Oh dear, Dan's gonna miss my joke, but But for example,
I got your joke.
110 ratings now, so our iTunes are bumping up, which is very nice. Thank you.
So if you haven't rated yet, please go and rate still, because that'd be great. Like, there's some of you that maybe haven't still.
And FYI, I realised that some people have reached out that since I switched hosts, some of the episodes that are not there. I am aware of that. And I am sorting it. It was just a case of SoundCloud being annoying with their file names and Podbean not being as accommodating as I thought they would be with their file name types. It's just going to be a few hours slog for me to do something manually. I could pay Dan to do it, to be fair, but he will screw it up even further. There'll be no episodes up there if I do that. So, I've got to do that. I think I'll get it. Give me 1 month from now, and everything will be backdated. Because there's just over 100 episodes I've got to put up again. So it's reasonably annoying. But I will for the people, because there's a couple that have reached out and it's like, I was listening all the way through to like episode 50 and then suddenly they disappeared. I was like, I'm sorry.
Why would you bother listening back? Just don't bother.
I was like, we'll start again from 115 and then I'll put the right rest of them on. I was like, you still got a few, like 40, 50 hours to catch up on that. And maybe by the time they're back on. So, apologies to that. That wasn't intentional because there's a lot of cool guests that obviously aren't there at the moment. So, Tony G, all those guys, Dean, that kind of stuff. So we need to put them back on because they were absolute gold. All right, mate. I've seen you far too much over the last 4 days, so I'm going to love you and leave you.
That's it for another week now, mate.
I know. We won't talk to each other until next Tuesday, mate. Thanks for listening, guys, and we will catch you next week.
See you later.